Women Deliver is a global advocate that focuses on gender equality and the health and rights of girls and women in all their intersecting identities. So we work globally at the UN, at the government level to make policy change for girls and women, but we also work at the country level. We have a program called the Young Leaders Program, over 1,000 young leaders in 150 countries that are working on advocacy, specifically on SRHR, sexual reproductive health and rights. We also work in Kenya and Senegal. We have a program called the Deliver for Good campaign that focuses on the SDGs. And a lot of our policy and advocacy work focuses on closing the gender gap in terms of data and evidence. And the minister talked about this today. So we put out a lot of pieces of evidence. We just did one on the intersection of climate and SRHR and gender equality. So we focus on investments in policies and programs. And we do that through our programs, but also the conference.
Hi, I'm Maliha Khan, and I'm the President and CEO of Women Deliver. We're very, very delighted to be hosting Women Deliver 2023 in Kigali, Rwanda from July 17th to the 24th in next year. The reason why we went through an extensive participatory selection process with the whole committee, visiting a number of different places. And Rwanda was very, very welcoming, and the collaboration and partnership with the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion was key, because the government was willing to participate with us, but also because Rwanda has proven to be such a key example of a country where tremendous advancements in gender equality can be achieved in a short 3 decades since for the last 30 years. And we've seen that in a number of areas around, women's participation in political processes, in women's economic empowerment, in reduction of gender-based violence, although granted that has gone up over the pandemic, but again, the government is focusing on this and trying to bring it down. So, and of course, one of the other areas where Rwanda has done very well is universal health coverage, and there's no gender equality available without universal health coverage, and that's another area where Rwanda has made tremendous progress. So we hope to be able to bring a national but also a regional perspective to the conference, which is a global conference, and we expect to have 6,000 people from 165 countries present here in Kigali, Rwanda, enjoying the tremendous hospitality that Rwanda offers.
It is true that the government of Rwanda, under the leadership through the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion, that is there to coordinate strategically all the activities to empower women and young girls, has been designated to host, to be the co-chair of the conference host committee. And we look forward to establishing not just a city, a country, but a regional approach to supporting this Women Deliver conference to be happening here in Rwanda next year. The country wishes to ensure that its hallmarks, including peace and reconciliation, women empowerment, promotion of investment and entrepreneurship, especially for women and young girls, women's access to information and technology, are exemplified through this Women Deliver forum. So we do recognize that Women Deliver is a platform that will bring together the diverse community from all over the world to discuss different issues that still affect women and young girls, and come up with tangible recommendation, resolution for an inclusive and eco-global community. So Rwanda will benefit from knowledge sharing, building further collaboration to promote gender equality and women empowerment. So we really couldn't say no to such an honor and privilege to host this important event happening for the first time on African continent.
Right, so this is the largest convening for gender equality in the world. So obviously we really try to represent all girls and women in all their intersectional identities across the globe. And one of the key things that we try to do is connect advocates that represent marginalized and poor communities with key decision makers, heads of government, the heads of large agencies, as well as the private sector, government, parliamentarians, because all of these people together with the advocates can think about issues that our girls and women are facing, can think about the solutions and can come up with inspirational ways of being able to implement them. So we hope that this convening will put together, refocus energies on gender equality, will help people think about solutions for it, and will really be able to move the needle on improving the lives of women and girls all over the world.
Sure. So yes, I've been at Women Deliver for a little over 5 years and 2 years in this role. I have one more week left in this role, so very excited to be here. In 2019, the big focus was on impact, and this is something that we need to kind of carry into 2023 being, and I said this earlier in the press conference, there's so many commitments made out there right now. There's $40 billion of commitments of money to go to girls and women's rights organizations, youth organizations that have been made by governments at large, including the private sector, and no one's really holding them to account. And we didn't really do that very well in 2019, and we really want to do that now, which is having a place for what we call accountability with civil society. There's not a lot of space for civil society to be able to hold their governments to account, but the one thing that we have that's really special is size. We call it collective action. So the idea that we have 200,000 people online and 6,000 people on site gives us that collective action to have the mic, literally, to be able to hold governments to account. So that's going to be that's something that we've started in 2019, but are really taking on here in 2023. The other piece is sort of making space and reframing who leads. We all know that heads of government and heads of state are leaders, but what about youth? What about adolescents? What about grassroots advocates on the ground that are leading? And so we really want to use the privilege we have as an organization like Women Deliver and flip the script and have them leading the plenaries. They're going to be leading the pre-conferences. They're going to be leading some of these media pieces, not just heads of state and heads of government. So it's a really kind of flipping that script. That's something that's really important to us.